Salvete! Hello everybody, welcome to Latin with Stephen. This is a video for beginners, part of a course. This is Unit 3, and today we're going to look again at some third declension nouns. We've covered some of these already. We started off with nouns ending in tor. Can you remember any of those guys? How about gladiator? Mercator? Then we looked at nouns ending in o, like leo for lion, calpo, an innkeeper, and latro, a robber. Well, I mentioned that in the nominative singular they take all different appearances, all different forms, but they do follow a consistent pattern through the declensions. So we've had tor, we've had o, like leo. Today we'll look at nouns ending in is in the nominative singular. So our example is the word kiwis. Notice a long I at the first syllable. Kiwis. Now a kiwis is a citizen. It could be male or female. Kiwis. Alright. Let's see what happens to it as we decline through the different cases. Beginning with singular. We have vocative stays the same. Kiwis, kiwis. Accusative, kiwem. Can you remember mercatorem, leonem, hominem? So we always get this em in the accusative singular for third declension. Whether it's a tor word or an is word, doesn't matter. They're all still third declension. Genitive, kiwis. Well, again, is the hallmark of genitive. In the genitive singular, it's the hallmark of the third declension noun. This just so happens to already have started in the nominative with is. It doesn't change. So I guess, in a sense, it's easy because you've got nominative, vocative, and genitive all just is. So if you saw that word in isolation, kiwis, it could indeed mean of the citizen as a genitive, or just nominative, the or a citizen. And the context and the other words in the sentence would help you work that out, hopefully pretty quickly. Dative, kiwi, to the citizen, for the citizen. I give something to the citizen. Kiwi, weenum do. To the citizen, kiwi, I give wine. Do, I give weenum wine. Kiwi, always this long e sound for dative singular, and ablative we get kiwe, so with the citizen. Cum kiwe, for instance. So kiwis, kiwis, kiwem, accusative. Kiwis, kiwi, dative. Kiwe, ablative. Kiwis, kiwis, kiwem. Kiwis, kiwi, kiwe. Kiwis, kiwis, kiwem. Kiwis, kiwi, kiwe. Again, kiwis, kiwis, kiwem. Kiwis, kiwi, kiwe. Plural. Well, just as we'd expect, we get the ace, nominative, vocative, and accusative. Kiwes, kiwes, kiwes. Citizens, whether they're doing the action. The citizens are in the house. Kiwes sunt in villa. The citizens are in the forum. Kiwes sunt in foro. Or if they're an accusative, they're the object. We see the citizens in the forum. Kiwes in foro videmus. So whether they're doing or being done, so to speak, they have the same ending. So again, you just have to look very carefully. If you see that word, maybe it's the first word in the sentence. Kiwes could be the citizens doing it, nominative. Could be the citizens as the object, accusative, and you've got to look down the line to see if there's a subject there. A giveaway would be straight away if you had kiwes and then you see a singular verb, in which case they'd have to be the object of the sentence, and there's a singular subject doing, seeing the citizens, knowing the citizens, loving the citizens. Alright. Genitive plural. Now this one, sometimes these words end in or is. Nouns often end in ium, so that's a little bit different, because before we just had didn't we? Gladiatorum, mercatorum, hominum of the persons, of the people, calponum of the innkeepers. So here we get ium quite frequently, either ium or sometimes depending on what kind of word it is. Don't need to worry about it, just recognize or ium as genitive plural. Then predictably ibus, kiwibus, kiwibus. To or for the citizens in the dative, then the ablative with the same shape and sound, by, from, or with the citizens. So let's just try the plural a few times, just reciting, guys. Do it with me. Cives, cives, cives. Civium, civibus, civibus. Cives, cives, cives. Civium, civibus, civibus. Again, cives, cives, cives. Civium, of the citizens. Civibus, to or for the citizens. Civibus, to or for the citizens. All right. So let's do singular, then plural together. Civis, civis, ciwem. Civis, civi. Civi, cive. Again, civis, civis, ciwem. Civis, civi, cive. Civis, civis, ciwem. Civis, civi, cive. Plural. Cives, cives, cives. Civium, civibus, civibus. Cives, cives, cives. Civium, civibus, civibus. So it does conform to a third declension ending pattern. The only slight difference is here ium instead of just Everything else, is e, ace, ibus, ibus, is as we would expect. So in a dictionary you would say civis, mf, masculine or feminine, depending on if it's a male or female person, and then it will give you sis, again to indicate the genitive singular. But here's a tip: whenever you've got an is word, well, it's already third declension, so it's going to be the same in the genitive. All right, so you don't even need the dictionary to tell you that. Let's think of a few simple sentences. We give the money to the citizen. We give, remember that's the verb dare, so this would be damos, do, das, dat, damos. The money, accusative, pecuniam, to the citizen, dative, kiwi. Kiwi, pecuniam damos. Kiwi, pecuniam damos. We give the money to the citizens. Cross. Kiwibus. Kiwibus, pecuniam damos. Kiwibus, pecuniam damos. Do you remember preparing the dinner? We had that right early on in the first unit. Canam parare. Alright, first conjugation, parare. Paro, paras, parat. So the slave girl prepares dinner for the citizens. The slave girl prepares dinner for the citizens. Ankilla, Canam, accusative, that's what she's directly preparing, direct object. Kiwibus, parat. Ankilla parat. The slave girl prepares. What does she prepare? Canam, accusative. Dinner for whom? For the citizens. Dative, plural, kiwibus. Ankilla, kiwibus, canam parat. Ankilla, canam, kiwibus, parat. Kiwibus, ankilla, canam, parat. Canam, ankilla, kiwibus, parat doesn't really matter. The meaning's the same. It's fixed by the endings. All right. What about? Well, let's have a look at a few other words that follow the same pattern. So we've got kiwis, meaning citizen. Kiwis. Hostis, enemy. Technically, it could be masculine or feminine, but more often when you're reading, it's going to be referring to enemy, an enemy soldier. In which case, it's realistically going to be the masculine in the Roman context. I think 99% of the time. Hostis. All right. What's that remind us of? Hostile. Who's hostile? Your enemy. Hostilities. All right. So your enemy is your hostis. Enemies. Hostes. Hostes. The enemy singular is one person. The enemy is in the forum. That's not good. Not a good situation. Hostis est in foro. The enemies are in the field. Remember that one? You camp in the field. Campus. Hostes. Plural. Hostes. Sunt. Can't say est. Plural. Sunt. In campo. Ablative case. Hostes. Sunt. In campo. Often when you're reading Latin, they tend to use the hostes, the plural one, to refer to the enemy soldiers or the enemy troops. So whereas we refer to the enemy more as singular, so it tends to become as a plural unless you're specifically talking about one person. So we see the enemy or the enemies. We see the enemies. We see the enemies in the street. Oh dear. hostes. In we are, videmus. It's the accusative in this case, although it sounds the same and looks the same. Hostes. In we are, videmus. Videmus, hostes. In we are. What about, remember the word for sword? A gladiator has a sword, right? A gladius, us word. A plural, swords. Gladii, with two eyes. Gladii. Right, the swords of the enemies, which would mean the enemy soldiers. So it's going to be plural. The swords, gladii. Gladii. Hostium. Genitive plural. Hostium gladii. The swords of the enemies, the enemy soldiers. Hostium gladii. Gladii hostium. Let's make it an accusative. We have the swords of the enemy soldiers, the enemies. Typical in the Roman warfare, they take the spoils and the armour of their defeated opponents. We have habere, habeo, habes, habet, habemus. Habemus, the swords, accusative, gladios, gladios, hostium, hostium, gladios, habemus. We're holding tenemus. Tenemus, gladios, accusative, the swords, hostium of the enemies. Hostium, gladios, tenemus. Habemus et tenemus. We have and we hold. All right. So, kiwis, hostis. This is a nice one. Canis. It's masculine. Canis. A dog. Canine. A dog. I have a dog. Canem. Canem habeo. You have a dog. One person. Canem habes. We have a dog. Canem habemus. We have dogs. More than one dog. Canes. Habemus. Accusative. Canes. Habemus. We love the dogs, or our dogs. Canes amamus. Canes amamus. The dogs are in the garden. Canes sunt in horto. Remember that word? Hortus? Ablative. In horto. Location. Place where. Canes sunt in horto. Canes amamus. The dogs are in the garden. We love the dogs. Canes sunt in horto. Canes amamus. Again, I'm just hammering the point. It sounds and looks the same. Ace, ace. Canes, canes. Be it subject, nominative, or accusative. Direct object in the third declension. Ace, ace. So just look carefully when you're reading and work out what's happening. Kiwis, hostis, canis. Oh, well, we had the word for baker, which was pistor. It's third declension word. Pistor. Panis is the word for bread, masculine word. Panis. I love the bread. Panem. Panem amo. Panem amo. What's the word to buy? Remember the verb? It's third conjugation, ere verb. Begins with E. Emere. Emo emis emit. Emere. Emo emis emit. I buy the bread. Panem emo. We buy the bread. Panem emimus. We don't buy the bread. Panem non emimus. All right. So, panis. Where? To where is a slave hastening? To where? Remember, you're going to a place and you're asking where? Where to? Whither? It's quo, not ubi. Quo. Ubi static. Where is he? But to where? Which place is he going? Quo. Quo contendit servus. Quo contendit servus. To which place is a slave hastening? Servus ad pistorem contendit. Add to pistorem, accusative, to the baker. Contendit, hastening. Servus panem emit. Servus panem emit, the slave. Emit buys. Panem, accusative, bread. Servus domino. Panem emit. Servus panem emit, he buys the bread. Domino. Dative in this case, could be ablative, but dative here. For the master, for his master. He buys bread for the master. Servus domino panem emit. From the verb emit, to buy, emit. The master is expecting the bread now. Dominus, nominative, nunc panem expectat. Dominus nunc panem expectat. Servus domino panem emit. Dominus nunc panem expectat. Civis, hostis, canis, panis, last one, avis. Avis, this is feminine. It's a bird. What word were you thinking of? Aviation, maybe? Flying? Aviation? An aviary, I think, is a place where you keep birds. Something like that. So you might have guessed that one. Avis, feminine. So how would this decline in the singular? Awis, awis, awem. Awis, awi, awe. Again. Awis, awis, awem. Awis, awi, awe. We see a bird. Accusative. Awem videmus. In the sky. Sky is kylum. So in the sky will be ablative in kylo. It's neuter. Kylum in kylo. Awem in kylo videmus. We see birds in the sky. Awais in kylo videmus. Always, we always see birds in the sky. Awais semper in kylo videmus. Awais in kylo semper videmus. And we love the birds. Amamusque awais. So awaisque amamus. Et awais amamus. Alright, so several ways of doing it. Awais in kylo semper videmus. Awais amamus. We love the birds. Alright. A couple more sentences, then we'll finish, guys. What about I greet the citizen? I greet the citizen in the forum. So we've got civis, it's going to be accusative. Ciwem. Ciwem, in foro, ablative, saluto. Ciwem, in foro, saluto. I often greet the citizen or a citizen in the forum. Ciwem, in foro, saipe, saluto. Ciwem in foro, saipe, saluto. The dog is sitting in the atrium. The verb is sedere. Sedeo, sede, sedet. The dog is sitting in the atrium. Canis sedet. Who's sitting? The dog. Therefore, nominative, subject. Canis in atrio sedet. Canis in atrio sedet. Where is the enemy? Singular. Where is the enemy? Ubi est hostis. Ubi est hostis. The enemy is in the field. Hostis est in campo. The enemy is holding a sword. Hostis, gladium, accusative. Tenet. Hostis, gladium, tenet. The farmer is fighting with the enemy in the field. I mean, we may say fighting against, but you can use the word cum, meaning with, in Latin, to fight with someone. Fight against, fight with, followed by the ablative case. So the farmer, agricola, is fighting with the enemy in the field. What's to fight? Pugnare. So he fights, pugnat. Agricola, pugnat. In campo, ablative. Cum, with. Hostis becomes ablative hoste. So if you didn't know that one, cum is always followed by ablative case when it means with, alongside. Cum hoste. Cum cive, with the citizen. Cum hoste. With enemies, cum hostibus. Agricola. cum hoste. In campo pugnat. Agricola nunc in campo cum hoste pugnat. So, there we have it. Let's just take our hostis and practice through the cases. We get hostis, hostis, hostem, hostis, hosti, hoste. Again, please. Hostis, hostis, hostem, hostis, hosti, hoste. Plural, the enemies, the enemy soldiers. Hostes, hostes, hostes. Hostium, hostibus, hostibus. Hostes, hostes, hostes. Hostium, hostibus, hostibus. With the bird, singular and plural. Awis, awis, awem. Awis, awi, awe. Awis, awis, awem. Awis, awi, awe. Plural, the birds. Awais, awais, awais. Awium, awibus, awibus. Awais, awais, awais. Awium, awibus, awibus. Right, guys, there you go. That's a wrap. So, third declension nouns. We've had tor, gladiator, mercator. We've had leo, ending in o, ending in the vowel sound, cowpo, homo, person or a man. And now we've got is words, and these are all third declension, following the same pattern, but we've just noted that these is ones often have I-U-M in the genitive plural. Nothing to worry about, just something to note. So I'll leave it there. Hope that was useful. Hope that was interesting. If so, please give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys. And I'll be back soon. We're going to do some more verbs in this third unit of the beginner's course. So take care and walete.